It's Jibboy. Andy, that's how you do it.
I wouldn't have asked you to do this if I knew you were going to do that.
You wanted me to do it. You wanted it to happen. Look, it's me. It's Alex. It's Jibboy. I am here to tell you that we have got some stuff going on specifically.
Is this like
Please go ahead.
Randy from American Idol with dog?
No, it's different. It's more akin to a catchphrase.
Are you doing it ironically?
I'm moving into a catchphrase territory is where I'm going.
I think you might have started ironic, but you say it sincerely now, I think.
Can I tell you? And that's a problem I have across the board. Remember when we were doing the movie show? I started doing this as a joke when I left rooms.
Yeah.
I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, now I think of Joe Zimmerman for a while would do dog like Randy, and he did it ironically, but then it became non-ironic.
That has a bad habit of happening.
Has the show started?
All right, go ahead, Jibboy.
Well, here's the thing. Not yet, because I got to tell you that we got clips going up on Instagram. We got clips going up on YouTube, TikTok. Do we have clips going up on TikTok, Andy?
We sure do.
Clips are going up on Ticking, and we're talking. And on the YouTube, a week later, the video is going up on the YouTube from the Tuesday episodes. But you don't got to wait a week. If you get over to the Patreon, not only do you not got to wait a week, you also get a full-length bonus episode with video every Thursday, and it's only going to cost you $5 a month. And then with that, you also get a never-before-seen, I did that last time, a never-before-released. It's been, you know what? Tommy's got a special. You can watch it. It's on the Patreon.
Like just recorded on a camera.
It's recorded on camera, but it's great. And Andy...
All specials are recorded on cameras.
That's a good point.
Great point.
And Andy, if you have $100 lying around, we'll call you on the telephone and...
I think we got to take that
just
down.
really build you
No,
up.
I've been doing it.
Have you been doing it?
I've been doing it.
Are we with a clean conscience here?
We're clean.
Yeah, we're clean.
We're squeaky fucking clean here. And so I think get more people under the tent here. Andy's got some audio pen pals here. And I think we got to grow this thing. And now the show can begin.
Good morning.
Hello.
Okay,
all right.
Mr. Mora.
Okay. Did you end up taking her name?
I took her first name, yeah. I am Maura Stone. She is Maura.
A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
I thought you were Alex Mora.
We're not a traditional couple. Yeah. No, I took full first name. Just call me Maura. That's me.
Okay, Maura. Well, on today's episode, let's get into it, but not a lot to report on the rundown. We're doing wedding recap. You got married over the weekend.
I did.
Weekend full of wedding festivities, and we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to find out your likes, your dislikes.
The nit, the grit. We're going to talk about
my likes, my dislikes.
Per request of the queen, what else are we going to do?
We're going to do a rose and a thorn.
Woo! She told me that
I hope y'all been thinking about it.
Before the night was over, before I left the venue. So you better fucking do these roses and these thorns. Don't cheat me. So I did. I got married on a Friday. Got a reception on a Saturday and a brunch on a Sunday.
Well, you're going to have to do a little more details than that, or we are going to be a short episode.
I think that's it. I think we're done.
Well,
let's
thanks for
rewind
joining
to the beginning
us
and
here.
take it a little bit slower.
Andy, you got any tour dates coming up?
Here's the thing. Here's the first thing. So
I'm in Spokane this Friday and
Didn't
Thursday.
something happen on Thursday?
And thank you for bringing that up. Thursday, there was a hang. No, that was Friday night. It wasn't even Thursday.
Friday night.
Friday
You
night.
were married.
I was married at that point.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I had everything confused.
Friday night.
I thought you got married Saturday morning and had to hang the night before.
A lot of people thought that. My brother among them. My brother also thought that was happening.
He not at the thing on Friday?
He was at the thing on Friday.
What the fuck's going on
The
here?
wedding is the thing?
There was the wedding is the thing. I'm all over the place. I'll start on Friday morning. We get married.
Go a little bit further back. Where'd you guys meet?
We met at McLeavy's. I'll do my whole speech. We get married at a park near our house, and we are supposed to get there at 9:30 in the morning.
What was the deal with the park? Did you guys rent the park, or did you do a kind of John's LA? We're in here. I dare you to stop us from getting married in this park.
This park. There is some different parts of it. In this park, there is a Japanese tea garden.
I don't think you're supposed to call it that.
So this is Brand Park.
This is where we went. It's where you went. Yeah.
For the Sunday activity.
We rented the whole left side of the park, if you're looking at it, for $250 for 2 hours. We learned from
what a deal,
Jono's mistakes, and said if it's only going to cost us $250 to not get stopped.
Yeah,
and that came with it came with a lady that stopped people from coming in. Came with a bouncer.
Wow,
really? It did. Yeah.
That's pretty great.
She had a clipboard. People.
I can tell you my first wedding, not to usurp your story here, but it was in a park. It was in a park.
Do you remember that?
there was no bouncer, and there was another couple that just came through during
I remember
our
this.
reception with a photographer because they wanted to get their pictures taken
Really?
in the park that we were getting. So they were getting photos taken like in front of the decorations that we had put up and stuff.
Oh, that's
And
not okay.
we thought it was funny.
Wonder when
like,
they got divorced.
Hey, let's have these two ladies in wedding dresses get a photo. We wanted to joke around with them.
Yeah.
And they were not having it. They were not having
What?
it. Yeah.
I don't remember this part.
They weren't having it. Yeah. They were like, this is a public park. And we were like, it's a public park that we rented for the afternoon. So,
oh, fuck.
I mean, you could be
That's
cool
bullshit.
with us, or you could be dicks.
You can't be a couple who's willing to take pictures in front of another bride
to
and
just
groom's
see
decorations.
the other, full woman in a wedding dress and go over there in your wedding dress and start taking photos.
And
I
then
would've
just
kicked
not
it
be
over.
Okay with it. I mean, yeah. If you, no one's getting it. How's that feel?
But you guys had a bouncer, pretty great, in the tea garden. Go on.
In the tea garden. So before we get there at 9:30, I'm walking out the door about 9 a.m. I come out. I got a neighbor famously wakes me up every Tuesday morning and every Wednesday morning.
Teaching Chinese.
Teaching English as a second language to Chinese people.
I thought you were going to say just to tell you he loves you.
No, just I wish it were that quick. But I go out in my full suit, full regalia. I got my suit, my tie, my shiny shoes, and I run into him. He's coming up the stairs from getting his mail. And he goes, "You look sharp." And I go, I'm actually on my way to get married because I'm leaving. I'm on my own. I'm leaving before more. I go.
Would have been cool if you responded in Chinese. Let him know how loud his lessons
I'm
are.
learning. I'm learning. My
I'm
friend.
stealing an education from you every Saturday at 8 a.m.
So I go.
People are going to have to steal it. It's
I'm
part of the attack on higher education right now in this government. But what were you saying?
I'm actually on my way to get married, John. And he goes, on a Friday?
Even he thought it was Saturday.
He goes, on a Friday? Okay. And I go, wild world, huh? And then he goes, yeah. And then that was it. No,
he goes, okay.
He goes, no, congratulations. He just keeps it moving. Just on a Friday. And then, okay.
Maybe that's just part of his American culture.
You think so? It's something.
I like a neighbor just not stepping over any boundaries. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like he stepped.
So we
making
go
a hot comment about what day you got married.
From there we go. We got our picture taken. I get a reveal. I stand and I look at a pond while my beautiful bride comes up behind me, taps me on the shoulder.
She comes out of the pond
behind you.
She snuck up behind me.
Like you just went alone.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right, Andy. I was looking at a turtle, and then we hug, get our pictures taken for 45 minutes. Then our family comes.
She was in a matching suit. That was a surprise.
That was the surprise. She wore exactly what I wore.
Did she wear to the party that we saw her at the same thing that she wore while you guys got married?
No, we both had a costume change. She wore
my
a
gosh, I
different
can't wait
dress.
to see the photos.
Oh, what the fuck?
Show you,
I didn't get to see the wedding suit?
I can show you. Yeah, I wore a different suit.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I'll get into the suits here in a second. And Andy, I think, is going to
my fault. Not trying to get you ahead.
Admonish me. So the whole thing, well, we can do the suit part now. So the whole thing, I went with Andy. Everyone who listens to this podcast know I went with Andy.
We talked about it.
I went and got suited up. Then it came, and I hated it. I really didn't like it.
The fit, the color?
The fit was perfect.
The company?
Fit great. They were nice. The color was the problem, is that I went in with a very specific idea of what I wanted. I was trying to recreate, with a slight twist, what my dad wore at my parents' wedding. And it just wasn't the right color. It felt too purple.
What do you think a therapist would say about that?
I was trying to
hook up your mom. That's what I say.
Trying to fuck my mom. Well, I'm also wearing my dad's ring. I mean, it's a whole
I know
thing.
this whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
You might be technically married to your mom.
But I might.
That's like the plot of The Corpse Bride.
But I didn't tell them was the whole thing. I was going to be surprised for them that I was doing this sweet thing. And then my dad walks up to me, and I could see he's looking at me, and it takes him a second. He goes, That's the same color jacket I wore.
That's what you
wedding.
want.
And I go, that's why I bought it.
Fuck, that's good.
I went to I went to Macy's and got almost the exact jacket that he got. That's what I wore on Friday. And then on my left lapel, I wore I got a boutonniere from Etsy. My mom's mom, who died when I was in first grade, her name was Daisy. So
Some people call her your grandma.
My grandma. I got a Daisy boutonniere, and I had that on my lapel for my mom. So there were some little things you get surprised.
Nice. I feel like I got bit or stabbed.
No,
you see anybody back there with a knife?
Well, you're good.
Or a tiny bug that you can't see?
And then I called Andy. Because Andy also got married
Twice.
Similar
yeah. I've been
events.
married twice.
I've been doing a bit where I introduce Maura as my first wife because
Pretty good bit.
she's my first wife. It's Maura, my first wife. And I was like, Andy, how'd you do it? How do you go from just you
do oldest wife too? If we're pitching on this bit,
there you go,
oldest wife.
This is my
like
oldest
people
wife.
introduce their kids. This is my oldest wife.
This is my oldest wife. Somebody who I told this bit to somebody, and somebody was saying that they had a bit. Oh, Taika Waititi apparently would introduce his wife.
Taika Waititi?
Tom told me, or maybe Adam told me. Somebody told me that Taika Waititi introduced his wife as his ex-girlfriend, which I thought was also a funny.
That's good.
It's a funny bit. But I asked Andy, how do you go from just like standing around taking pictures to getting married? And Andy was like, "Well, you did a whole thing."
Yeah, we like set up chairs. We pretended like we weren't on my parents' patio.
Yeah.
The song played. She walked down an aisle that we created from chairs.
We did not do that. We just went, okay, we're getting married. And then we walked to a different...
Who did it?
My sister was the officiant. She read a thing, made me cry in the middle of it there. What a bitch. At my own wedding, she made me cry at my own wedding.
Would she bully you?
Yeah, she called me bald.
She did?
No, she recounted a conversation that we had had.
Do you take this cue ball?
This shiny piece of shit right here.
What's the convo?
Well, the convo was I don't want to cry again on the podcast. She was just
go ahead.
She's having a tough time at that
Kyle,
point
in her
life about what her future holds for her, of where she's going to live, what she's going to do, what everything looks like, and she doesn't know, and it's scary. And I told her that I feel the same thing a lot of the times, but one thing that makes me feel safe is that I know that wherever I'll be, I will have Maura, and I love her, and that will make everything okay. And that, hearing that again back to me as she stood there, made me cry.
Wait,
and so I did.
So she remembered that conversation.
Was at a point where she was worried about all that stuff?
Yeah, and so
about you.
No,
about her?
It was about her, and so I said to her.
But what you said to her make her feel better?
Yeah, she doesn't have Maura.
Yeah, what are you doing?
She has a husband and a child, and I said,
him. He's no Maura.
I don't know if we can get your sister on the podcast.
I mean, he seems nice, but
I think it was unhelpful. I think you're being mean.
She said it in my speech as a thing that helped her.
I think she said it as a way of like, well, I'm so glad you have Maura to feel better. I got no more over here.
I said to her, you got a beautiful family. You got a husband that loves you very much. You got a beautiful little boy, and so wherever you go, you got people that love you. You're going to be fine. And that's what I said.
I met too many relatives because I met her husband. He was very nice. We had a great conversation, and then 2 days later, I saw your sister at the brunch, and she was standing next to your cousin, and I was like, "Oh, is this your husband? I've been wanting to meet him."
Oh, fuck,
I
man.
definitely met the husband.
Yeah.
I had met him already.
Well, I also felt bad because
I don't know why they were kissing
at the bar.
Whatever.
At the bar on Friday night, I did introduce him to Andy as my sister's husband instead of my brother-in-law, and I did feel bad.
That's fine, right? That's fine.
That's fine.
They just got married that night. No. Anyway.
Yeah, it was a different guy.
You know what the thing is? If we're allowed to interject at moments,
do.
Is that going to be all right? Or
yeah,
interject.
Do the
timeline here?
Keep the thread. I keep interrupting.
I'm loving this. Here's a helicopter. My ride's here.
Low and slow, this guy's going like a brisket.
That's a goodie.
Wow,
I mean, that may be on the pod.
Yeah,
that's a top 3 lowest flybys we've ever had here. It's a very. This is only funny to me. I saw your sister. She, because it seems like everybody in your family but you is great.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So at one point, she just like yanks on my jacket there, and she's standing next to your brother, and then they say a bunch of nice things, general facts and statements. I'm not getting into it; it's none of your business what they said.
Sure. Yeah.
But before I chatted with her, I saw her, and I had a like deja vu-esque moment where I'm like, I'm 99% sure this is real, but I'm 1% thinking I may have created a memory. But I think I was telling her, I was like, I think I met you as a child. Like, I think she was a kid.
I think
at one point came to Go Bananas. I'm not saying a baby.
Sure.
How much
I'm
younger
saying
than
like
you is your
junior
sister?
high school.
She may have been in high school. She's 4 years younger than me. So it's not impossible. Yeah, that you would have met her in high school.
Surprising to me. I didn't know the birth order of you and your siblings, and this is going to sound like an insult. I always thought of you as the youngest child. I never. Every time you talk about your sister, I assume she was older.
But
I am insulted.
Yeah.
but there's a
I
normally
don't even know why.
Normally when you say that,
you just have
this is gonna sound like an insult, but he just didn't do the
Yeah.
butt part. So he just
youngest
he just
child
did an
energy.
insult.
Yeah,
Give youngest child energy.
I don't like that.
Do people in your family say that?
No one's ever said that to me, but you right here. I don't like it. I just got married. I'm sitting over here getting the fucking business from you, my man.
you know what
it is? I told you I could keep the thread. I've lost the thread. You've got me spinning here.
While you're thinking about it,
Uh-huh.
I just want to jump in and agree with Andy.
Yeah, you definitely
Whoa.
seem like the
It never
youngest.
occurred to me, but you do have like baby
for
boy.
sure. Yeah, the
I mean,
I
youngest,
think you're
yeah.
confusing my face, my
No,
smooth
no,
baby
it's not
soft
how you look.
skin.
Nope. It's
With-
Sometimes,
it's
I've
your,
seen you have
it's your
only
attitude,
child
yeah.
energy. Sometimes
That cannot be true. I won't stand for that for 1 second. Will not stand for that for 1 second. Here's another funny thing that happened from the wedding day. So we get married. Also in Brand Park, there's a beautiful home that's now an art library, one of the oldest homes in Glendale. And leading up to it are
burn those books.
these long stairs and a row of palm trees. So it's a great place to take pictures. We also permit that.
At the turnaround.
There's the loop there and then up straight up
okay.
as you're coming in. So we permit that $25 for the photo permit.
Whoa!
Great.
Wow.
So we're getting our photos.
Money bags.
I am in a suit and tie. Mora is in what I would describe as a wedding dress, and there is a woman with a camera taking our pictures. Behind her, I see a guy with big headphones on and weights on his wrists marching up the stairs.
Yeah.
And eventually, Erica, our photographer, hears him coming, and she goes, "Oh, hey, they're getting married." And he goes, "I just got to touch the door." And then he just marches all the way up to the door, touches it, and then goes like that. He's like,
I
"Congratulations."
hate this guy.
That was very funny. That was very
Kept
funny.
going.
It was very fun for you guys too. Just like you're going to be in this. That's the
Did
one
she
I
snap
put
some
up.
photos
That's the
of
one I
him?
put up.
I haven't
she
seen
should
them
have.
yet.
That's
I hope
definitely the
so.
one I put up.
You
with him
gotta
jumping like Rocky
snap
at the top
some
of the stairs.
photos
He
of the
goes-
guy working out.
He goes, "I just got to touch the door." And I go, "Well, it's good to have goals." And then he just marched all the way, marched the way up, touched the door, and then went back about his day. But then after that, we went
When he
to...
goes up, touches the door, and just kills himself. Oh fuck!
Oh, God.
Well, he didn't have to. He could have waited. Our pictures.
Well, we only got it for 20 more minutes. We got to get these pictures in. But then after that, we were married. I got a bunch of photos with her family, and then we went and got lunch at Castaway Restaurant. Beautiful view. I got
Can I ask you a photo
sunburned
question?
on my head. Please do.
A photo question.
Yeah.
Some other weddings have done this. With the photos that you got from the photographer, are you going to make them available to the wedding guests?
Yeah. We're figuring out how to
Mhm.
do that, but yes, yeah. We really liked what
Mhm.
you and Tori did, which was when you
Mhm.
sent out thank you notes.
Make them available.
You made them available. You included them in the thank you notes. I think we're going to try and do that. But yeah, I've seen some of the photos. They're very nice. I'll show you when we're done here. But
Oh,
I want to see photos of the wedding.
yeah, that's what I've got some sneak peek
Oh,
photos of
okay.
that. Yeah, I can show
Okay.
you.
How many people at the wedding?
At the ceremony, there was my family, which is 5 people. Mora 6, the photographer 7, Mora's dad and his girlfriend Michelle, which is 9, and then her aunt and uncle 10, 11. That was everybody. So 11 of us, and then we all went to dinner or lunch, had a nice lunch, and then we went home and
Oh, consummated?
we
Wow.
I didn't like
legally binding.
I didn't like the noise.
Little afternoon delight.
I did not like the noise.
Well,
And how was it for your first time?
Oh, can I tell you? She made that joke. She had to get it in.
During it?
During, yeah, as we're approaching. And then
She has said, which I think is very sweet, that every time she makes love to you, it's like having sex with someone who's having sex for the first time.
just couldn't get it across the finish line.
I can't
Yeah, you
believe
almost had it. No.
Why? I just put too many words in.
It would have been great. Would have been a great clip. But yeah,
would have been fun.
you're from-
Everybody.
You're from the
dang it.
1-yard line.
She was telling me that you have sex like a youngest child.
Andy, drop it. You let it go because no one agrees with you. Even he, I think, is just doing a bit. I don't think anyone.
I kind of
agrees
do
with it.
agree with you, but I'd heard she said that you'd had sex with the youngest child.
I don't like
Is
it.
it different?
I don't like it. I don't know, it might be different. I don't love it.
Don't make that a clip. I don't like what I said. I take it back.
And then we sat around for a little while, and then went to the bar. The bar, and met everybody there, and it was really
I missed
nice.
the bar. Bummed about missing the
Missed
bar.
It was great.
Andy
was
did tell
fun.
me it was
It was
winding
great.
down when I checked in.
Yeah,
It
you
was-
checked in. It was winding down when you checked
was.
in.
I felt like
it
it's
was.
just, we're in an age where that seemed like a wind down time.
Yeah, but it was great because a bunch of people from Cincinnati came. All the Cincinnati
I was
comedians
extra
that we know
bummed
and love
to
were
not
there.
hang
and
out
then,
with the people at that situation.
Tina was there with her
Tina,
husband, and
Lisa,
and it was great. And Mike Cody, and huge. Can I tell you a hilarious laugh I had from Ryan Singer at your thing? I don't know if you were standing there or not
Please.
during this, but we were teasing him, saying that after the ceremony, a group of us were getting shakes, but there was like no room on the shake bus for him to come. You know, it was just totally made up. But I think it was like me, Cody, and Sam just like riffing this teasing.
Ryan
Singer,
loves shakes.
Ryan Singer loves milkshakes.
Loves
It's
shakes,
one of the things about him that people need to know. And we're doing that, and we're having a blast. We're all laughing, and then he goes, "Hey, can I ask you guys a question? Are any of you guys allergic to almonds?" And we're all like, "No." And then you know, a few seconds pass, and I said, "Why do you ask?" And he goes, "Oh, I keep some almonds on me just for these kind of situations." He laughed so hard, and his patience to wait for me to ask why he asked if we're allergic to almonds really made me laugh, man.
That's a good laugh.
Oh,
It
that
was
was a
very
goodie.
fun.
What was the bit where he had me ask you if you wanted to get a coffee after? Do you remember that?
I think he thought I was too drunk to drive.
Oh.
I think he thought I was too drunk to drive home because he was really pushing like getting a coffee or hanging out a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I had only had 2 drinks over the course of probably 3 hours, so I don't think
We're not cops here, man.
drunk to drive.
I am a cop.
I
And
don't even think it was borderline.
you are fucking busted. Here, I got two things from the bar. It was great. The bar was great. It was fun to have an extra night to see everybody and catch up. And I've got a sister that I had never met before that night, and I met.
Oh my God! I
sister.
didn't realize that.
We
at
were
the
having
bar.
so much fun. We were over in this corner. I was telling people, Alex is a sister he's never met. She might be here. Which one do you think she is? And we were trying to guess who she was.
She looks exactly like my mom. She looks not exactly like my mom. That's not fair. She looks a lot like my mom, which was the thing I was most struck by when I met her. And then
we know how you feel about your mom.
You can see family resemblance.
Was then just struck by how great she is. She's
She
great. Her
was
boyfriend
fun.
was there. He was great. I mean, yeah. I'm so glad they came. And they seemed to be having a great time, and that was great. That was really a special moment. And then this is a soft gotcha on Andy coming up here.
Nice.
No.
Soft gotcha. on
Soft
Andy.
gotcha.
No.
I had
That's
totally.
normally what he gives Tori.
I had 2 of my closest childhood friends came all the way. One from Cincinnati, and another who was formerly from Cincinnati came all the way from Michigan. And
Who are these people?
This is my friend Zach, who grew up across the street from me. Zach is whose wedding I spoke at, where I spoke for 20 minutes. His lovely wife Amy was there. I apologized to them at the wedding for doing that, finally. And they said, no need. And apparently that had gotten back to them.
Had they refused to speak to you until now?
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen him since. But then I got my other friend Brandon, who I grew up with, playing soccer with, went to high school together, grade school. I had forgotten that he got married in South Haven, Michigan. And I remembered that, and I had forgotten that he and his wife moved to South Haven, Michigan. And then on top of that, I forgot that Andy's parents live in South Haven, Michigan, until he's telling me about, he's describing it to my brother, and he's like, there's these blueberry farms all around. And that was like, okay,
Yeah,
I know a guy.
Yeah.
Then he starts telling me a little bit more about South Haven, Michigan, and this is where the gotcha comes in. Why am I hearing from this guy about the peacocks that got loose in South Haven, Michigan, terrorizing the neighborhood? It's a whole big shebang, and then someone steals a giant cow statue from the ice cream place. I mean, there's hot goss from South Haven, Michigan.
We got nothing.
We got
over here.
nothing.
Listen, I talk to my parents on a regular basis. We're talking every week, and or close to. That's what I try, but sometimes you don't make it. But I didn't know either of those stories. I could tell you about the skylight that's leaking in my parents' house. I could tell you.
I can't believe
the
your mom's not talking about
flooring
these
they put in on the
peacocks.
patio, but never heard about the peacocks.
Call your mom.
Never heard about the cows.
Now you got a gotcha for your mom. How come you're hearing about the peacocks in South Haven, Michigan from my friend telling me and I'm telling you on the podcast?
Did your friend talk about the new wood on the patio?
He didn't talk about the new wood on the patio, but he and Andy did have a brief conversation about these short-term rentals.
Oh, yeah, and then we talked again the next night.
I didn't meet. I don't know if I met either of these guys.
He actually
did I meet either of these guys?
I don't know. Maybe.
Here's
possible.
I don't feel like I met half the people, and I'm saying this from a genuine perspective. If you're one of the people that talk, you're easy to walk up to.
Oh yeah.
To be like, oh hey, you're friends of Alex. I'm also friends of Alex. I can't be just walking around doing that to everybody.
Well, I say this.
It doesn't go both ways.
I don't know if this is the case, but I will say I've known these guys for so long that they may know you as a famous comedian, and they may have been intimidated talking to you. That's
and they
a
hung
real
out
fact.
kind of in the phone room for most of the night.
Yes, yeah, they were in the phone room for a while. They knew each other and they knew my family a little bit and stuff like that. So I don't.
I got plans to hang out with your South Haven friend.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, we're friends now.
Okay, no, I love that.
He swooped in.
You're saying it like it's a gotcha on me. I love that.
No.
I don't think he loves it.
On you, but I'm closer with him now than you are.
What about these drinks? Did you have some drinks night of your wedding?
Did
you guys do it before you went there?
Well, like hours before, not right before. No, we're not walking out the door. You can't smell it on me, but I
smell it on me.
I can smell it on you.
I got.
How do you think I guessed?
What do you think I'm that guy from? Anyway, so
Puss Beard.
I had one drink that I kept being taken away from. I was like, I didn't have.
Was it
because you were out of control?
Well, no,
to the bar.
People kept showing.
Just bring it with you. It's a cup.
Well, people kept showing up, and I would turn. I go, oh my god, and then I would see another, and oh my, I'm just bouncing around from conversation to conversation. So I was just kind of pinballing around the bar, and I eventually lost my drink. But I did get some fried chickpeas. Highly recommend at this bar. Fried chickpeas, tremendous, really good.
At Hilo.
At the Hilo bar, yeah. They also have carnitas nachos that are also very good. But yeah, then we left that bar, and then the next day was our reception. That I don't know. It was very. Here's where I fucked up.
I fucked up, man.
I fucked up. I think I talked about it. We opted not to get a DJ, like a formal DJ that would DJ the party. And instead, what I took upon myself was to just make a playlist for the night that would play. And this was way more labor intensive than I thought.
You talked about it on the podcast. You were cutting ends of songs, so there was no downtime. You edited a 3-hour 4 or 5 hour playlist?
5 hour playlist.
I did it. The dance part was 2.5 hours, but then I did the cocktail thing, which was an hour and a half, and then I did your intro songs and all of this. Anyway, it was I was doing that up until an hour before we got into the venue and I was doing that every day the week of. So that was most of my day that day, and then we get into the venue to set up, and then Sally, Ben, and Mike Cody were nice enough to meet us there and help me fix the playlist when it got a little fucked up, and help me figure out the lighting. And Maura's aunts and uncles and her dad and Michelle came, and they set up the flowers that were on the back and the pictures of our family that was in the back.
Oh, I love the pictures of you guys' families. What a nice touch that was.
We were
your parents and grandparents.
Yeah, all
that
of
was
great.
Did you guys just have those around?
No, we had to get them sent in from all various. The hardest one to get was the picture of my dad's parents. Was had to get mailed from Massachusetts to my parents' house, and then given
you had
to
them
us.
scanned and then blown up because they're all the same size. That's what was shocking to me.
Yeah.
What were the chances that everybody got 8x10s?
What I was shocked by was how well they blew up. I thought the quality would degrade, but they came out really nice, and I think that made a lot of Moore's family very happy. My parents very happy to see those. So I
love pictures.
And then 6 p.m. rolls around, and that's when the party begins, and everyone starts trickling in. There was a funny thing immediately, I don't know enough to even know what happened here, but the playlist starts for the dinner part, and our photographer walks out, takes one picture with a flash, and the speakers all like explode. It goes like,
Whoa.
and the music
Oh.
stops. And Dom, the guy that was nice enough to bring the equipment and kind of like quasi DJ, was like, "Oh, what frequency is the flashbulb at?" And I was like, "What?" And then Erica, the photographer, was like, "What?" But apparently there's some frequency of the flash that got with the camera and like totally blew up the speaker. And so there was no music for a little while, but then
I didn't realize that.
yeah, there's no music for a minute, and then it got back going.
And was she able to just change the frequency?
I think he changed his
I'm gonna
frequency.
go channel 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it down and got the music.
Can I say this
like
before the reception?
Yeah.
At my house getting ready. And
jump in.
My wife puts on what is a white dress. I go. I'm gonna look back. I can't even remember at this point. My first words may have been, "You can't do that," and she goes, "Oh no, it's not white." And I'm like, "It's." She goes, "It's." I go, "That's white." She goes, "It's something yellow," and I go, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm like, it's white. And then she holds up a white purse to it, and it's not as white as another white thing.
Right. Okay.
And I go, I don't think it matters. And this is like, I've put my tie on, I'm walking out the door. I was like, I go, this is, I go, you're going to end up being a meme. I go, this is crazy. I go, it's crazy. And she's just like, yeah. And I will say that, like, at no point during the whole time was I not aware that I was with someone in a white dress. I text you this, my bit about it was I felt like I went to a party with someone who had said the N-word on Twitter. Yeah. Where it's just like uncomfortable. I can tell people are talking about it. I can tell people are whispering. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, Maura was fine with it, but the amount of people that felt like they had to tell Maura that they saw was a large number of people. You got a lot of just traditional aunts out there.
You know what's funny is I just assumed that younger people like Maura's friends and contemporaries would have it. I didn't even think about the older people.
I think that's where it bubbles up from the older.
I said to her, I go, I think it's one of the oldest rules. And then there's also just kind of an element of like there's like something reminiscent of when I was growing up and my dad was with this gal, and she was awful to me, but she wasn't like that around anyone else. And I would be like this, and like from childhood into adulthood, I would tell cousins, and I would be like, "Do you know this guy fucking hit me with a spoon? Didn't let me inside the house when the sun was out. Like I had to wait till it was nighttime to come in. All this." And he's like, "Nah." And then like all these kind of things. And then after my dad passed, she showed her true colors to everyone, and they were like, "I can't believe this." I was like, it's not the same situation, but it is similar. Where I was like, everyone's kind of experiencing this thing that I experienced in my life all the time of just like, there's the truth that she's going to live in, and it doesn't matter what outside is. That is the truth. This is not white. And if you're upset, you're wrong. And if you're saying I shouldn't wear it, you're wrong. It's like this thing where it's an alternate reality is created. Yeah. Like it was very nerve-wracking to be, but it was also like, hey, see?
Yeah.
Everybody?
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
What kind of person wears a white dress for a wedding?
I said that on the night, because it also got to me where I was like, maybe it was that she knew we weren't getting married, that it was just like a party. And I was like, maybe that's what's going on. I will say we had another friend. I'll leave names out of it in case they don't want this part talked about. But another friend who got married that we were all at their wedding. The invitation went out, and it was explicit on the invitation, do not wear red. I am wearing a red dress. Wear whatever you want. Do not wear red. Yeah. 2 different women wear red dresses at this wedding. So it's happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. People are just going out there living their life. But, and I went inside and I told her this before we started recording. She and Andy said on text, she's a blast to have at a wedding. She tears up the dance floor, really gets it going. And this is jumping ahead a little bit. I had a first dance with my mom where we danced to Your Song by Elton John. And
that's our song.
And my mom said the next night, she was like, I really liked when I looked around that Heather was singing along with me. And that was a really nice moment. And so I told her, I said, thank you for giving my mom another sweet moment. So that
that's
was
nice.
You know, so she brought some sweet
she brought
moments.
some energy.
She brought
I can
some
tell you
energy.
this. I've been on Reddit, and I've seen threads of people being like, am I the asshole for wearing a white dress to a wedding? Or am I the asshole for being mad at someone for wearing a white dress to a wedding? And the comments are in the thousands. And the thing that I've never seen is the perspective of the date of the gal in the white dress. I was unprepared. It was like I had to land a plane. I was like, I've heard of this happening, but I've never even come close to doing it myself.
You're also a guy who has a thing where you don't like when people whisper. You're not a big whisper guy.
Oh man, when you're walking around, she's like fucking whisper magnet. We got to remember that because I feel like now I got a bit. That's got to be in a bit. I do hate whispering, and it's the most I've ever had seen. I would be making eye contact with someone as they're whispering, and I'm just like, I gotta hang here and do.
It's why I don't go to libraries.
Oh man,
put that, write it down.
Yeah, this little tag for you.
But so I need you guys to kind of do some the lifting here because this
here's the thing.
This night went by very fast for me, and I'd love to hear your perspective.
So please,
bit of a slog.
Thank you, Andy.
on behalf of me, apologize to anyone that needs an apology for this dress. I didn't see it until right before we left.
No apologies necessary.
I was uncomfortable. Here's the one thing. I'll start at just what I thought to be maybe the weirdest part.
Okay.
Where you kick the music in, play some bangers, and then everyone just has to watch you and your family and your wife dance. Yeah. Well, and no one else got to dance at the beginning.
I got a photo of you guys dancing, by the way.
Well, send it over. Yeah, if anybody got pictures that's listening to this or that's
I was doing
next
a bit
to me,
there. It did lay wildly flat.
Can I tell you?
But that was the first dance.
Well, you hit on it. You struck a chord where I didn't want to do that. Because I thought it would be
great.
I thought it would be weird that everyone.
It's
was just
weird every time everybody does it, but it's great, and it wasn't not weird.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. And you know what? I think you're going to have some pictures from Erica you're going to love from that. I hope you enjoyed the moment. I didn't mean to skip ahead to this in real life. I was going to start at the beginning. But I have a couple there's a couple moments I cried, teared up, got sweaty-eyed, came.
Yeah.
All these things happened at this wedding. And one of my I can go from zero to fully I go from like a 0 to a like that.
Yeah.
And your dad, at one point during your speech, you say something about your dad. And then I don't know if you clocked this, but he blows a kiss to you.
I didn't see that.
It got me crying.
I wish I would have seen that.
I loved it so much. I mean, I like. You know, I don't
very
have
much my dad thing to do. Yeah.
I don't have a son, so I'm kind of I'm crying when Moore's dancing with her dad.
Yeah,
and that moment I was like, oh yeah,
I didn't see that.
That's my he's my kind of dad.
Yeah,
I mean that feels like a move I'm gonna steal if I don't do it. Like, are we vibe similar? Because that's something I would do.
Can I tell you that is a very my dad thing to do? This is a thing that my dad did once. That is a famous my dad story of, and is that we go out to brunch. It's me, Maura, my brother, and two of my brother's friends, one of whom is pregnant, and we're all there. And my brother and his two friends get there after us, and the pregnant one who is showing sits at the end of the table. My dad is on the other end of the table on the same side. 3 people are between them. And my brother goes, this is so-and-so. She's having a baby. And my dad kisses his hand and then reaches over 3 people and touches her belly. And Wow, is it one of the weirdest, funny
Did
things?
everybody love it? Did everybody love it?
You know, you just got to sit there as he goes, excuse me.
So jumping into the blur part of the reception, we go to this place. I will say, in defense of the place, everything is incredibly clearly marked.
Okay.
There's a there's a sizable sign that is lit. It has all the words you need. I go in and immediately just start to go like, we were like 6:01. I'm like, I don't know what's happening at 6. What are we doing? We're late. Because as I'd mentioned before, I'm with the backup bride. So I just wanted to get in and kind of get it over with. So we're burning through this fucking place. And there's an outdoor area, and at the other end of it there's a door, and I can just make out that there's heating lamps. So I was like, oh, maybe we're on the outside part.
Yeah.
And then to do it, we got to get through a birthday party for an 80-year-old man.
Okay.
So we kind of weave our way through this birthday party for this 80-year-old man. I get to the door and I hear, excuse, sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am, sir. And we turn around. She's like, are you looking for the wedding? We go, yeah. Then the 80-year-old guy goes, it's my birthday. But he's doing a bit. So I know that 80 is like a gray area.
Look what I brought you.
Of like whatever is he doing. But he's doing a bit for sure. And he goes, it's my birthday. Thanks for coming. And I go, thanks for having me. And he goes, I'm glad you could make it. And I go, you haven't aged today. And then he gets a good laugh and I leave. He's never going to see me the rest of his life. And then we go in there. It's I don't even know, like, what would be you said it in the McLeavy's, but I don't even think McLeavy's does it it's just a cool vibe. There's a cool vibe room you got there.
It was incredibly cool. What blew me away this weekend is when we were talking leading up to it, it really seemed like you guys were flying by the seat of your pants. You know, we're like, what have you planned? You're like, we barely even begun. You know,
I don't
you
even
had
know
so
if that's
many
inaccurate.
amazing,
This guy just got married. You can't.
So many amazing details, and everything was cool, and the venue was just unbelievably cool. It was very neat. I love how there were separate rooms. So you're like, let me go vibe. I don't feel like dancing. I didn't even get to play pinball. There were 3 pinball machines.
I thought more people would play pinball.
I wanted to play. Believe me, I wanted to play pinball. The opportunity didn't strike me, but I want to play. It was great. You know, it was great. Just tons of little details. It was such a cool place that you picked, and even the picking of the place. See, I was like, I don't know. I mean, the back room, I thought it was going to be, you know, like giant kegs and smell like barley and stuff. That's what I thought it was going to be, but it was this very cool back room. You didn't? When it was at a brewery, I'm like, it's going to be like at the back of a brewery tour, and it would be cool. Breweries are cool.
There. I trust that he went there. He didn't go.
But I thought maybe
we pushed this dumpster out of here. We got a dance floor.
But if you remember, after he looked at it, they liked it, but he was like, I'm still not sure. But the place was so cool.
I thought he was talking about getting married.
It wasn't a slam dunk from the jump.
Well, it was just because we didn't know if it would fit all the people and like everything. Fit all the people perfectly. For those that weren't there, which is most of you, it's like there's a Golden Road Brewery in LA that it's a brewery. Imagine a brewery, it's a brewery. But behind the bar, there's almost like a speakeasy that's like this kind of Irish bar, Irish bar for no reason. But it is.
Is it always open or is it just for private events?
I think it's just for private events.
Yeah, anyway, it's great.
But it was very, we thought it was cool. We're glad to hear that everyone else thought it was cool.
One of the first things I see, which I haven't been to a lot of weddings, but you had these cakes out on display. I clocked a cake early and I went, there's a little figurine of my wife on one of them.
What can I tell you? I'll let you finish. So the cake's huge hit with Moore's family. Family.
That's so great.
Leading up to it, we're like, apparently at some point I talked about how much I love donuts in front of these people, and they were like, just please don't have donuts. They thought that I was going to get donuts for the wedding.
I've been to weddings where they have donuts, which is another compliment I have. I also love the cake. I've been where they like go weird for
Yeah.
the thing. Like cakes, 3 different flavors, each one more delicious than the last.
But you
So
had
it's
all
awesome.
3.
We had,
Nah, I didn't have all 3.
you could. We had 2 full cakes left
But
over.
also, tell these people that are saying don't get donuts, go to a wedding that has just a bunch of donuts and tell me you're mad about
Tell
it.
you how right now. I agree. But so then at the next day at the brunch, one of Moore's family members goes, "Where did you hear? But these cakes are so good. Where did you hear about them?" And Moore goes, "Well, the woman in the white dress is actually where we heard about the, the white dress. So she was redeemed immediately."
And everyone knew who she was talking about.
Yeah, everyone.
Uh-huh.
But
I went kind of into like a very kid-like thing kept happening in my until I had that cake in my hand. I would say I was going back and forth between thinking about this white dress, having a good time, and then when are we going to get that cake? Like I thought about when do you think the cake's going to happen? Way more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I was like at my watch. I'm like, is that cake going to happen? And then there's a good hang.
Like about an hour, a little bit more than an hour of like
food
cocktail.
Before anything, right?
Food before the festivities.
I'll tell you what, we ended up, there's 2 buffets.
Yep, downstairs and upstairs.
Same food. We get in a short line buffet. No pressure doing this. I don't think I had a bad thing. I didn't have a cheesy thing, but them taters, them Brussels, and them ribs were great.
It was all really good.
I love the ribs.
I was intimidated by the ribs because I'm like, ribs, but they were so tender,
They're fork
easy
ribs.
to eat with a fork.
Yeah, fork ribs.
Fell right off the bone. Yeah. I was nervous that people would be like, fucking ribs. What
Korean barbecue ribs.
Yeah.
Here's also something incredibly delicious, but also I think you probably got a real funny picture of me. They walk around with these meatballs, those past apps, that are about 4 times bigger than a meatball that should be on a toothpick. And I have one. There's no good way to go about it. I'm trying to like not let people see me do it. Who walks up while I'm taking my first bite? Your photographer.
Hell yeah,
that's great.
Very excited.
She really captured it.
Yeah, number 2 pencil stuck on the end of it, not a toothpick. Those were fucking big.
They were big.
They should have came with a plate of spaghetti.
They were delicious.
I really like the meatballs.
Hoagie roll.
Yeah.
Here's the I sat down with these barbecue ribs. I'm carrying the plate to the table. I make a joke. I go, I'm gonna end up with this barbecue sauce all over my white shirt. Sit down at the table, instantly get barbecue sauce on my jacket.
Sorry about that. That was a fear. But they were so good when we had them. We were like, I think people will like that. They taste good. Get the things that taste good.
They were great.
Moore and I, we had our meal alone in the back.
That's nice.
Nobody would sit with you guys?
Well, we stood. We didn't even sit. We stood. We stood back
in the back of where?
By the pinball machines, by the buffet. There's like a little high top table.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
A little moment to yourselves.
A little moment to ourselves, which is nice. And then I came and tapped Andy on the shoulder after dinner. I said,
batter up,
give the 10-minute warning.
Okay, yeah, I gave a warning.
So the thing that we did that I don't think everyone knows about is that when we saw our friends Tom and Antonia get married, they got married the day before, and then we went to see what we thought was their wedding. They just had what felt like a show. They had I think 5 speakers plus themselves, and it was beautiful. It was funny. It was moving. It was all the things. And so Moore and I talking about it, we're like, well, let's just do a version of that. And so I asked my 2 guys here. And my buddy Sam Evans, I said, would you guys be so kind as to speak at my wedding? And we're all kind enough to say yes. Moore asked 2 of her friends. And we asked Andy to host the whole thing. And I got to say, before I want to hear you guys' perspective, I texted it to you. But I was very moved. It was all I could do not to just break down and sob when everyone was talking. It was also very funny, such big laughs. And I feel bad that I asked you to work at the wedding and do a thing that did cause you some stress, I'm sure. But it is a thing that I will never forget. And I just want to say how much it meant to me, earnestly, truly, that you guys did it. And it was great.
I had a fun conversation with Sam about it the day before. That was like exactly because at our wedding, we didn't do any things just to prevent anyone feeling stressed that they had to prepare something.
Yeah, some would say keeping the spotlight on yourself. You didn't even let your wife talk.
She didn't want to.
Like
she didn't want to.
We're being nice.
She didn't want to. So anyway, I was telling it to Sam because all three of us were, the day before, like, oh boy, and I was like, yeah, I mind just because of this. And Sam made such a great point that was 100% true. That it was like, yeah, maybe it's a little stressful, but as soon as you're done, it was like a great thing that you got to do, and you feel honored, and you guys remember it forever. So Sam, like, really put it in perspective in a great way.
I felt like I would have been better if somebody else did it. I definitely put the most work into it. I stressed about it the longest, and I did the worst.
You did not true. You did not do the worst.
You did.
Can I tell you?
Sam's wrong. And also, Sam, he came off. I didn't know we could cry. And I think he was like, because he had just cried.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ready to be funny yet. So I felt bad because I meant it, and like I thought it was beautiful and funny and great, and like he killed, if you want to say that about a wedding set, but I think he killed. And I thought it was the sweep. So I made a joke and so this is just me saying to you into a microphone, which could just be a text of just like, make sure he knows I was just kidding around.
I'll tell him that you're kidding around. Can I tell you a thing that
did he say something about it?
No, he did not say something that you may twist because it's the first compliment I'm giving you on your speech. But one of the things that I found to be very touching, that was a very small thing, was that when you were giving your speech, I saw that you went through the trouble of printing it and then cutting it out and then gluing it to construction paper.
Such a fucking mistake.
It was very touching that you put that much extra thought into it, and I thought that was very sweet. So
I put too much thought into it because I should have just had it on a piece of paper like everybody else, because you can read a piece of paper. First of all, this is a gotcha. You know what? I got a gotcha, Alex.
Okay.
This guy over here been bullying you?
Okay.
Well, he's about to get got.
Get his ass.
This motherfucker comes up to me and goes, "Do you want a mic stand?" And I go, "Yeah," because I have note cards that I have to flip through, and then there's no mic stand.
Yeah, no, that's on me. That's my fault.
I had that thought because I thought I bet the people that aren't comedians would be much more comfortable with a mic stand. So I thought, I'm going to go around, I'm going to ask everyone that's speaking if they want a mic stand or not, and then I will have it there or move it depending on everyone's preference. I took that on myself. So we're about to start. The mic stand has been moved over to the side, and I was like, a few people want it, and someone was like, we've nixed it. There's no mic stand. I don't know if you told me that or
it was a group decision between the couple and the photographer of just not having it in photos. And so I apologize. It's a gotcha on me.
Well,
I fucked you. I fucked you hard. I do apologize.
I shouldn't have put it. It was literally 7 note cards meticulously cut out. I just, you know what? I've done stand-up comedy before, but I've never had to get, at least in what I had written, every word right to get the emotion and like the genuine sweet part across. Like, so I didn't want to like look up because I knew that if I stopped looking at them, because I didn't have it memorized, which I thought I had it memorized until I got up there. I had legitimately ran it enough that I had it. But when I looked down, I was like, now I'm in the cards.
Right.
And then my hands started shaking because I was nervous, which has never happened even in stand-up comedy. That's not how I react to doing. I've never been like that.
You've also never held
it's higher stakes. You feel like if you do poorly, you mess up someone's most important day of their lives.
So I knew that like if here comes the helicopter again. I was like, if I try to go off the cards here, just what I'll probably do is just remember the funny parts, kind of butcher the emotional stuff, and then do like a riff to save a thing. Like, so I was like, and even that, I told Andy before, I was like, I think mine is dumb.
No,
like a genuine.
I thought yours was so good.
Please don't,
Alex. Your speech was so good. What I want to say about the speeches is, it made me wish we would have done them at my wedding. I liked the speeches so much. They were great. I feel like I robbed myself of getting to hear you guys have to say nice things about me.
Well, you want to do it just like in your new backyard at your housewarming party?
Who you haven't talked? Are we even on the list?
Are you even on the list?
Where's the list? Let me see the order. Here's what I'll say. Here's why you got to get back into stand-up comedy. You got to get back on stage, because I don't know. I've been to a lot of weddings. I went to my own most recently. I don't know that I've ever seen someone land the plane on a cum joke in a wedding speech. but it not only did it. You do it, but it got a laugh from a group
laugh.
of hugely conservative people from the middle of Ohio. So,
Because you know what it is? It's a clean cum joke. Because the joke, I said, part of the thing was about how much I call Alex because he makes everything better. So I call him a bunch, and at one point I say a story of when I called you to ask if you want to work a job, and you drove across the country to work the job. And I said, because that's the thing when you call Alex is he will come. And then there's a beat, and I go COME, and I think I thought it through enough where I was like, I think people won't be upset because if you are not laughing, you're the dirty one.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're
like
doing it's in your
you
head.
kind of back them into a corner where they're like, he's clarifying to make sure the scumbags
you're
don't
a good
take
guy.
this wrong. So
this is not what I meant.
I did spell cum at your wedding in the nice
pacing
way.
of the joke was so perfect because it was right as everyone was elbowing each other, but he does come. You know, it was exact at that moment.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Corrected everyone.
That your speech very sweet, very emotional. The cum joke was great, and then I'll tell you the thing that Moore and I talked about after that we had both forgotten was that you hit her in the face with a snowball. We both had forgotten about that, and I remember that.
It's the very first. You were very excited that she was coming.
I totally
and
forgot.
COME, and it was like a frozen daiquiri machine or something. So just for the podcast people, we were at Go Bananas Comedy Club. She's coming. You guys, I don't even know where you were dating, but we had not met her.
New,
Friends had not met her. She had not been there. I come around a corner, and in my memory, hit pretty solidly in the direct of the face to where there's still snowball on her face as I'm apologizing to
and
her.
she didn't know that she didn't know what was happening. Like that was the other thing. Is that like she wasn't like
inside and you get hit by a snowball.
She also didn't see the evolution of it. Like she just walked out of the back of the comedy club and got hit in the middle of summer in the middle of her face with a snowball. And
welcome to comedy.
Yeah. It just met you, so that was very fun.
What did she say about when she remembered it? I should have keep this guy away from me.
Funny, but then there is a twinge of I didn't like that, but it was very fun. Got a good laugh. And then Andy, I didn't forget about you, my man. Set the table perfectly. Very sweet speech.
Oh yeah, well, my speech. I'm going to make some admissions here. I'm going to make some admissions about my speech. I should have spent more time on it. I definitely should have spent more. Here's the thing where I messed up. I would say, well, I know I wrote the speech for my own wedding the week of. So even though you gave us a month to prepare, I was like, I'm going to write it the week of. And
you like to cram.
So I was just keeping like a notes app so that when I sat down to write it, I would have a bunch of jokes. I would have ideas. And it would be easy. I'll just bing, bang, boom. And then the week of your wedding also turned out to be the week I moved into a new house. So I did not have as much free time as I would have liked. And Tommy called me multiple times like, hey, let's go over what we have. Make sure we got no overlap. I wasn't prepared because
I should have told people at the wedding I put in the most work.
You should let them know.
I think your speech was good to a level that they know that you put in the most work.
I agree with that, yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have to agree so strong.
I'm saying I'm hyping this guy up. I'm about to compliment you, but you took the baton and ran down this road with it.
Well, I got a story to tell. So day of the way, I had to go to my old apartment and meet this guy to get the TV brackets off the wall because I've done strip a couple of the screws while I was trying to take the TV brackets off the wall. Turned out that they were hex bolts. I don't know why I didn't notice that. I could have just used my, that cranky thing. I forget what they're called. Ratchet set. I could have done it, but I was just too dumb. Anyway, so I meet this guy at my old apartment.
I think someone comes and takes your ratchet set now.
Yeah,
you gotta give that up.
I get a migraine while I'm waiting. I drive back. I'm sick in the car. There's an accident. I think someone maybe died. There was a motorcycle just on its own in the road. We're stopped there for an hour. God. So I get back to my place.
This is
the day of the thing. I'm like, I gotta write this speech, but also just my head is throbbing. I'm like, I can't do it. I have to close my eyes for at least an hour. So I set an alarm. I slept for an hour and a half. My headache went away a little bit. I got up. I wrote it. Tori wanted to go meet a friend of hers to get some baby clothes. which I haven't talked about on here. Just tip that up before the wedding, and so I was like, we can't do any extra things. I need all of the time because I'm writing it right now. Right now, I'm assembling it. I can't give you any extra time to go meet your friend. A bit of tension, but she was very cool. You know, she could tell that I was stressed. And all the times Tommy asked me, we got to go over things. Let's make sure we don't have any overlap. I wasn't able to because I wasn't done with it until, you know, like 5 minutes before we left to drive.
Wow.
So right before this is, I think this is a testament to just, you know, the magic of your day and maybe how good of friends Tommy and I that we didn't even have to talk about it. You see what? This is my speech right here.
Yeah.
See right here? These 2 paragraphs crossed out.
He took
those 2 things that are crossed out. Tommy did both of these things.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
We didn't talk about it at all.
Which ones are those?
First one is the first one is almost the same joke, different premise. I was going to talk about how at one point you were my boss on the movie show, and the line that I
it's not my cum joke, is it?
What's that?
It's not my cum joke.
The line that I have is, and this is probably the only room on the planet where I can reference the movie show and everyone knows what I'm talking about. Which you did the same exact joke from the podcast.
That's amazing.
And the other one was you talked about Alex. You know, you sending him stuff, and the other one I had was the speech would have been better, but I wasn't allowed to have Alex punch it up.
That's very sweet.
2 almost the exact same.
Dude, you
things.
went before me, so you just happened to cross those out?
Just happened to cross them out, yeah.
Wow.
That's
Here's
why
the
I'm
thing.
saying it's just like the magic of the day.
That's the magic of the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have lost my fucking mind.
Isn't that wild? That's why I waited to tell it on the podcast. It's crazy.
That's
That's kind of why I
crazy
brought it to show.
Yeah.
Do you want to know
receipts.
something else?
What?
When you introduced me, you said this. He wanted me to tell you he normally headlines.
Yeah.
My first joke was I normally headline, but that's not important. I just haven't been going up a lot lately, so I think it shuffled the order. I had my first bit was that.
That's fantastic.
I changed my first bit
Look at you
at the
guys.
V cut from I normally headline to this is the only room in the world where I can earnestly say you may recognize me from the Backyard Hang podcast. So both all
ways.
of it.
Look at that. That's beautiful. I
Very
love that.
cool, right?
I love that.
Also, the thing that happened that was very great was I just communicating to avoid that, which we didn't even have to communicate to avoid that same topic. I'm talking about the first time we met Alex, the first time I met Alex, and when I was talking to Andy, I go, when you and I were talking about how cool he was, and Andy just texts back the hat, and that's in my speech was that conversation that he and I had that were like, it's the hat.
It's
I mean,
the
he used
hat.
to wear a hat like that's a cool hat.
That shout out to Sam Evans. My favorite part of his speech, he really got me, was he talked about how when I met Maura, I was wearing a fedora and I had a goatee, so she met me at my absolute worst. Direct quote from him. And he goes, you know that. Well, how did it go? He goes, you know that saying, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. For Alex, if you can't handle me at my Walter White, you don't deserve me at my grown-up Tommy Pickles.
Yeah,
That one got me.
It really got me too.
Fun. Brought the house down.
It was very, very
really
funny.
Roasted you right there.
And I'll tell you, Andy, what I loved about your speech was that you talked about, because I don't think that everyone knew of that Maura had her mom's ring, and and that I went and talked to her dad to get it, and you made some very funny jokes about that. My favorite of which was you go, I remember even when Alex told me he was going to propose to Maura, I remember it like it was 5 years ago. It was about how long I waited. Very funny. And a quick shout about me going to the gym, getting buff in my suit.
Yeah, take you down a
It
notch.
was very funny. Yeah, it was very fun. You guys nailed the speeches. You really nailed them.
A lot of favorite jokes from Andy's speech.
I did you first. I did the cum joke and the story about hitting.
I mean, geez.
And I like the
loves it.
thing,
No, I'm kidding.
the barring the children.
Everybody
from the
loves a kid.
And special shout out to Maura's friends Jessica and Elise. Jessica, fill in. We had multiple people drop out the literal day before because they were sick, and one of those was Maura's cousin who was supposed to speak, and so Maura
Jessica killed it.
gave it.
I walked
emergency
Jessica
call.
to her
Great.
car. She parked far away from the joint. I walked her to her car. As we were leaving, there's like two older people and two other older people, maybe it was four old people, let's say. They're leaving, started to dance, started to pop off, and so these old people are taking off. And as we walk by, the old guy, I'm 99% sure this is the way it happened. He very intentionally points to Jessica and he goes, "Your speech was so good. You did such a great." And it was a version of you should have been the headliner on a night I didn't even headline. Was very fun for her.
Very fun. She did do great, especially on such short notice. It was very sweet that she even agreed to do it.
And her poor husband was sick. Something we talked about on the way home. I don't know her husband. I'm sure he was very sick. But if it would have been my wedding and someone called in sick that particular weekend, I would be very suspicious that they had a case of the March Madness.
Oh, you think so? I don't think that's what happened with this guy, but I am.
I'm
suspicious.
sure it's not.
I am suspicious.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, the bar next to us was packed of people watching the basketball games.
He probably would have come dressed like Alex.
Would have been fun. And then Moore gave a very sweet speech. Got me all teary and was very nice. And then I talked. If you guys want to do me now, that I did to both of you.
You did a great job.
Go ahead,
you did
guys.
talk.
You did great. I didn't know how you were going to follow Moore's speech, to be honest.
Oh, I knew he had
Moore
it.
brought the house down.
Moore did very well.
I knew. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's a room where they're both going to kill.
Oh, for sure.
It's a receptive audience.
No, I thought I knew Moore would do great. I also walked in on her. I think running it in. I was trying to find a corner
in the ladies' room.
I was trying to find a corner to go to run it, to look at my notes, and I walk around a corner, and she's doing it, and I immediately felt real bad. And I walked up to Sam. I was like, "Don't go over there." I may have already fucked up, but she came over before. She was like the perfect amount of nervous, this real beautiful energy, and I was like, "This, she's about to kill it." But all that said, I was like, Alex has got this night. He's gonna be able to follow anybody.
What surprised me was I thought that I would be way more nervous than I was, which I wasn't not nervous.
Completely off book.
Off book, which was I was like, I don't want, because part of my speech was very sincere, and I was like, I don't want this to feel rehearsed and like I'm acting, and so it was like I really struggled with that, but I wanted to be off book with it. I hated that I didn't button my fucking jacket when I stood up. That's gonna haunt me forever.
That's all right. That's all right.
And I forgot a line at the end. And
also, let's circle back. You were so wrong about the jacket. It looked awesome.
Well, thanks for saying that.
That was the jacket.
That was the jacket.
Jacket looked great.
It looked very cool.
It grew on me over time.
Yeah, you grew in it with the muscles.
I grew in it. I got buffed up. Yeah.
More. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know what people want to say. But more, part of more is I was like, this is like a fucking movie.
Oh yeah, with you waiting in the rain
with the dog
every day at a specific time.
I feel like maybe it was private, but
we could talk about that. Yeah, I wait outside with the dog when she comes home. Yeah.
Every day, it's literally like a rom-com. I mean, one day it's just going to be the dog. Unfortunately, it's how this movie's going to go. And then, she's going to meet someone else. I think that's where Andy and I come in. We just make sure the next guy's good enough.
It's like that dog in Japan that walks to the train station every day just to wait for his owner.
Alex stands outside with the dog, waiting for more every day when she gets home. It's very beautiful.
And the dog, I'm obviously excited to see my wife, but the dog, so excited to see more. She knows the sound of Moore's car as it comes across the street, and she gets very excited when the car comes in. It's a very sweet thing we do as a little family, and that helped, because I was already going to talk about that in my speech. I was going to mention that, so that helped me. And then she also talked about the other thing I was going to talk about, which was keeping the volume on the TV down. So that helped.
Killed it. Both 1-2 punch there. You both got big laughs.
Yeah,
both got good laughs.
The number 4 that's unhinged.
It's crazy,
4
right?
is crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy. It goes to 50, and I want it at 11. So I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. But yeah, then after that it was dances and.
Well, your speech was dancing. Great.
Thank you.
The funniest and the sweetest. I got teary-eyed. I loved. That's when your dad blew you a kiss.
I hope somebody got a picture of that. Yeah.
I mean, you hit all the things to hit. I mean, lots about Mora. I'm not gonna lie to you. Felt like it was heavy
hilarious
Mora.
meeting
Heavy Mora.
story with the twist that
Oh
the other
God.
guy. Yeah, loved that part. It was so funny.
Thank you.
Man, that was also like a movie. I mean, maybe you should just write this as a movie.
Just
I
end
mean,
right there.
keep in mind you gotta kick the bucket in the movie.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah.
But
kill myself off.
Your
She gets back
meeting
together with that
story.
first guy.
Yeah.
First of all, what you said, they write down who they're there to see. You're working the ticket booth.
Mhm.
They write down which comedian they came to see. They write down a name of a person. I thought she was going to write down you.
Oh,
That's what for a second, because I think it's even better the way that happened in real life.
Yeah,
I think the real life thing, which I don't know if you want to tell, you can tell it. It's going to get a laugh.
I could tell. So the abbreviated version of it without doing the whole speech is that I was working the ticket booth at Go Bananas for the open mic, and for the open mic you got to bring 5 people to perform. And so your main job is to keep track of who everyone's there to see. So it's about 10 minutes before showtime. Maura walks in. In the speech version, I go more into it. But the truth is, like, I was very taken with her immediately. It felt like the room fell away. And I've never felt like that before or since. And I just had, like, an incredible moment. And then she comes up to me. I put a wristband on her. I ask her who she's there to see. She tells me. And I say, enjoy the show. And she walks inside. So I look down after she leaves to see who she came to see. And I go and I find the guy in the showroom. And I point to Maura and I go, hey, man, who is that? And he goes, that is the girl that I'm in love with. And the line I forgot was, I was going to go, well, have a good sit. And then walk away.
Can you say his name?
I'm not gonna say his name.
Do you remember the name?
You have told us the name. I can't remember.
I'll tell you the name.
Put your face over your. Let me mouth it.
I'll tell you.
Do it with your
afterwards.
lips.
He's not a fan of mine. I don't want to make it any worse. So,
Still alive?
Still alive. Yeah. Still alive. Everyone's got to die in this movie. But yeah, that's how we met.
You also you touched your parents. You touched her. You did all the touches. It was great.
Touched everybody. Wanted to make sure everyone felt appreciated and seen. And
oh man, I got teary eyed when you were saying what your parents will say to you, and then I got all worried that I'm like, what do I say? I don't know if I say something like that enough.
You're a sentimental enough guy.
Over here.
You gotta. I'm without knowing what it is. I'd bet my life on it that you got things these kids are going to remember for sure. But yeah, my parents, told me that I could do anything I wanted to do, be anything I wanted to be. And then I said that, and which is true, is that's the reason I was in a comedy club when Maura walked in, is because of that love and support. That
connection was so, you landed it so well in that, like, you zigged when I thought you were going to zag. It was just so well read, said, written, whatever you want to say.
It. I stressed over it too. So you guys weren't alone. We're all out here stressing. And then we danced, and I was really in that moment for the first like 20 minutes to half hour to 45 minutes of no one dancing. I was like, why the fuck did I spend a week just slaving in the garage?
Well, the main issue.
That's the exact thing. As soon as they made the adjustment of the lights, people were dancing.
Yeah. At one point, Ryan's at the bar. I'm on the dance floor near the cake, and people talking about dancing. I come over to Ryan. I go, there's a bit of a groundswell. People wanting to dance right now. Ryan goes, okay, me and you out there right now. And I go, well, hold on a second now. He goes, no. And so also, that, mind you, at this point, there's not a song playing that's like particularly like the first one you want to dance to, or at least me. So I was like, I can't be going out there just the two of us. I go, there's groundswell. I mean, you go out there, you get a group. I'll be in a group, but I won't be in a duo
get a little
of a
going,
thing.
Yeah.
So then Ryan, he goes, okay, disappears.
Yeah.
He comes back, big serious Ryan eyes.
Yeah.
And he goes, there's a groundswell. I go, there was a groundswell when I came over here. You didn't do it.
You just, we were swole. We swole. Yeah, eventually everyone got up. There's also a thing where this is another thing. Maura talked in her speech about how she likes the TV low. And I was like, I like a little loud. But multiple members of her family leading up to the night were like, just don't have it be too loud. So it's like a thing in her family. She comes by it honestly. But as the music, I kept going over time. I was like, just turn it up a little bit. And then they eventually went upstairs.
They all high. Yeah, they hit.
an amazing thing about the venue is it had all these separate rooms.
Yeah.
So if you weren't into loud music, there was a quiet room to be in,
which was great because that's all they wanted to do was sit and talk. They're people that love to sit and talk. They also don't see each other, so I'm happy that they got to have the night that they wanted, and also then we downstairs got to have the night that we wanted to.
What were they doing up there?
Just sitting around having
Spin the
coffee and
Maura was hanging up there
talking.
most of the time. She was good.
She's great. She
I
just
was
loves.
worried it was the dress.
No, she just loves her family and just wanted to squeeze every last drop of time. But I love dancing with all my friends, singing along, belting out songs, and
great playlist,
truly a
great
great
time.
night. Truly a great
I didn't that DJ. I didn't know if he was a bud or well. I didn't chat with him, but he was nice.
He's
did a
very
great job.
nice. He's a husband to one of Moore's coworkers who was kind enough to offer all that equipment is his.
Oh,
He
that stuff
came
was
and
legit.
set it all up and sat there and did
Nice.
everything. And so it worked out great. Very grateful to him for doing that. But it could have been a better night. And then the brunch the following day. I hope nobody felt
Yeah,
odd.
another super
Oh, you
fun
forgot
hang.
the voicemail thing.
Oh, the voice. Yeah, we had an audio guest book, which we didn't know until we went and toured did our tasting at the venue. This guy told us about it. We were like, "That's awesome. We're gonna do it." It's like an old phone you bring in. Instead of people signing a guest book and leave messages, they leave you a voicemail that you can then afterwards get pressed into a record. And so
I bombed.
you bombed on that
I
voicemail?
legit bombed. I came in wanting to do a bit, classic. Sorry, you guys hate me. Sorry, I ruined it. And then as I was doing the bit on the phone, I say, "Oh, someone came in and I'm drunk." I wasn't drunk and nobody came in. What happened was on the phone, I started it and then realized I'm about to say sorry about my wife wearing a dress. And I was like, that's probably not a thing to put on here. So then I ran out of and at one point I was like, you guys probably want to cut me loose because I'm a problem. But I really had a thing where I was in the moment, and then I didn't think there was any way to delete it, so I panicked and hung up.
Knowing all this now, it's going to be great. I'm
Oh,
excited. We haven't heard any of them yet because they haven't released them to us yet, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I thought something good would come to mind while I was doing it, and then in the middle, I'm like, "This is too long, and it's bad."
Can I tell you, multiple people, you included, came up to me and were like, "Hey, sorry about the voicemail." So I'm excited to hear it. And then, and also on the way out, my sister teaches a dance class up in Sacramento, and one of her students, out of just the pure kindness of her heart, made all of those cookies in the bag for free.
They were good
to give away, and I had one today.
Breakfast cookie?
It was a little. It was
when
good.
we had it.
Yeah, I had it. I didn't have it till
I had it
today.
for breakfast too.
It was good, but she did the design and the thing, and it was.
And
very
you guys
sweet.
had homestay tacos.
Homestay tacos,
which I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to say I wasn't sick. After
really?
I can't say I was fully sick, but it wasn't a dead-on emergency. But it wasn't great.
Can
when
I
got
tell
home,
you?
I think maybe my body. Whatever they do at homestay, my body doesn't like it.
Can I tell you what I thought? I was like, I think he's going to be fine because I think probably what happened was he had the brisket taco, which is a little greasy. It's very
greasy,
good, but it's a little greasy. That's probably what upset his stomach.
No, probably.
But these weren't
You
that.
didn't even know it was the tacos. He had another meal that day.
Well, he's saying he got sick again. But
yeah, when we left, I was like, I'm glad we're leaving because we got to go.
Yeah.
We got to go. And another fun thing about the homestay tacos was a nice opportunity for my wife to bring up to a table of people how I shit my pants last time.
Can I tell you?
Real fun. She brought it up. She was like, "Hey, Andy, do you want to talk about what happened last time you ate these tacos?"
Can I tell you, we across the board, More and I over-ordered food.
I love
tenfold.
it. That's what you want.
Yeah, you need too much. So as everyone
As long
was
as it doesn't go to waste.
coming to say goodbye, we were like, please take whatever you want. Take whatever you want. And Tori and Andy come up. I'm talking to my brother. And I go, take some of the tacos. And Tori goes, I'm afraid. And I go, oh, because of. And I start to tell the story to my brother. And I can see on Andy's face, he's like, I don't really want this story to be told to your family.
Well, I had just gotten done with her going through the story for a table full of other people.
So I apologize for that. I caught myself in the middle of it. And I was like, I'm too far in here.
I apologize to Homestate for slander. I think you should be sued is what it is. We don't even know if that's why he shit his pants.
Well, I was very
I missed the brunch. I was bummed.
It's not a shot at you, but I was very touched by how many people came to a thing.
Night. That seems like a direct.
I know that it seems like, I promise it's not, of a thing that just ended at like not even 12 hours ago. They came out all the way to Glendale. So I hope you didn't feel obligated. I hope you had fun.
No, I didn't want it to end. It was a awesome weekend. It was a really great wedding. It was so fun.
I wanted to go to the brunch here's, and I don't even know if I had a moment where I was like, is this why? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where 2 reasons I wanted to go. My 2 main reasons.
Yep.
I wanted to meet your nephew, hold your nephew,
Cameron.
I mean, at some age, maybe that's weird, but I think he's fine now.
You get him. Yeah,
I think he'd let me hold him. I'd be good with him. And for another one, which I don't truly understand, is I wanted your parents to meet my kids. I don't fully know the reason.
My mom would have really liked that.
I think they would have.
Yeah, both my mom and my dad would have really liked to meet them. For sure.
Your parents came up. I got weepy-eyed when I just said that for some reason. But they came up. They said real sweet things about you and our friendship. Your brother and sister came up, said real sweet things.
That's very nice.
Real nice.
I'm glad they did. Yeah.
Man, I missed the brunch.
I had fun with your family talking to him too, but they shit talked to you when I talked to him.
Is that right?
I don't know why they're saying all these nice things to Tommy. They
they said nice things about me to me.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, different story altogether.
That makes sense. Well, do we want to shut her down with the roses and the thorns?
Yeah, shut her down with the roses and thorns. This is maybe the longest podcast we've ever done.
I may have to give me a couple minutes to think of my thorn.
Okay.
Okay. As a guy who's worried about ruining something every time I go somewhere, to be just confident that it happened, it's all it is what I'm afraid of. It wasn't like this isn't as bad as you think it is.
Can I tell you how
it was bad?
Well, your friend Jessica knows you. Is that Maura texted Jessica and was like, "I'm afraid that Tommy and Heather think," or she goes, "I'm afraid that Tommy thinks that I'm mad at him because of what Heather wore." And Jessica went, I'm not get the words right, but it was like, that's not at all what's going on. Tommy is just always worried that everyone hates him. It's all about him and not about you at all.
The real thing, and this is the last time I bring this dress up. It's probably not, but I am I'm always worried somebody hates me and somebody's mad at me or whatever. But the real thing behind everything was I was worried, upset, kind of mad at a little bit that I brought someone that did anything negative to that day for Maura, whether it was she was like, I can't believe she wore that, or some like even being bothered by the conversation of it. I was worried that it took away any amount of joy for her, which honestly, I think I'm just describing why people don't wear fucking white dresses to weddings. I don't think it's an unusual thing to feel.
Well, you can, I appreciate all that. You can let go of it because it was a great night, and Heather added to it. She did not take away from it, so it was a great night. Should I? Who goes? Do I go first?
It was just not nice to have her there. I mean, I'm 0 for 2.
Hold on, Andy. You got a third one right around the bend. You get it in there. My thorns.
Well, you go last. We should go before you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay. I thought of him already. I lost him. My thorn. I'll start with my thorn. Was I felt sick during the day, so the whole day I was like trying to make sure I didn't feel sick again. That's my thorn. Easy thorn. And my rose, as is always my rose at every wedding, was dancing with my friends. I love it. I love dancing with my friends.
Love dancing with
my friends. And this isn't even my rose, but it maybe could be because I was feeling so sick. The non-alcoholic options that you guys had were just like what I would have picked.
Oh yeah,
you guys. There was 2 different flavors of watermelon water, which is like one I get excited when I see at a gas station, and there was a coconut water. I had all of them.
Water,
They're all. Did you guys ask for those, or
Maura
is that just
specifically asked for that coconut water? They have it available. That's how I got it. But
there's nothing that would have been better because I just needed to like hydrate and stuff, and also because my wife wasn't drinking. It was the non-alcoholic options. Best non-alcoholic options at any wedding I've ever been to.
I gotta tell more. That's very
Well, I think you gotta go last because
I'll go last.
Okay. My rose, my thorn's obvious. My rose is just throughout the night from the jump, because we're all there for you, but there is also this thing of like you don't want, like, if this were just a regular hang, I just probably would just be with you guys the whole time.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
talking to you guys the whole time. But at your wedding, you gotta leave you alone. Miley's coming out. Miley, so the dog. So at the wedding, there's this thing which I don't think I'm alone in, where you feel like you kind of don't want to bother them.
Yeah.
So what I did was I was not with you for most of the night, and also the same with Maura, even though I don't have a podcast with her. But long story long is my rose was I was able to just several times throughout the night look at you guys and see you having such a great time or moment, and just whether it's who you're talking to or whether it's a hug or a laugh or a thing, and just watching two people have a great night from afar at moments was
That's
I think
very sweet.
what made me the happiest.
That's very sweet. I had a lot of those moments. It is hard, like, I think,
That's a weird thing to say.
where you get married, where I try my best to be just like present with everyone I was talking to and never feel like I was like, who am I not talking to? But you feel like you want to make yourself available to everyone. So it's like everyone who was there, I felt like I didn't give enough of myself to, where it's like, I want to, so you try and just like have as many moments as possible. And I try my best. My thorn, was two thorns. One, a little warm in the venue.
Yep.
A little warm in the venue.
A little warm in the venue.
I'll be honest, guys, a little warm in the venue. I got pretty
Did you ask him to turn it down? Because I did.
You did. It got cooler.
I
go,
no.
hey, can you turn it down? The guy goes, it's cycling through. There's nothing. And I was like, if it were not in a different situation, I'd be like, I'm gonna need to talk to the guy that told you that, or I'm gonna go over there and press those buttons.
Yeah. Let me jiggle with these buttons. That was a thorn, and then the other thorn, which is our big thorn on, and it doesn't take away from what a great weekend it was overall, but we both wish we would have recorded the speeches. We didn't record the speeches.
Like for reals?
Oh, thank God.
For reals. Yeah. Cut them up. And just to have them forever. So what I'm going to ask both of you, if you're comfortable with it, would you feel comfortable giving me your thanks, man.
I ad-libbed a lot of stuff, though. It's not all in there.
I got most of it up here, but yeah. So just to have it, it is a bit of a regret that we didn't. We nixed it. I was going to bring my camera, that camera that I'm looking at right now, and we were both so stressed in the hour leading up to it that we're like, it's just another thing to have to worry about, and I wish we would have done it. So
in a moment of insecurity, I threw the note cards in the trash after I walked Jessica to her car.
Okay.
But I can give a Google Doc.
All right, send me the Google Doc. I'd really be very grateful for that. And then the cop-out rose, I'll give you a real rose, and the cop-out rose is that it was the whole weekend was just so great, and you guys did a lot to make it that way, and I'm very grateful and thankful for your friendship and that you guys put so much time into it. And everyone that came, I was so touched that everyone came from all over the country. But my biggest rose was that I got to spend a lot of time with my brother and my sister that I didn't know was my sister. And I felt like those are moments I had never got to have before, and to have them there and have them like show up and like, I don't know. There was just so many like little moments I got to have with each of them that I'll remember forever, and that made me so happy. And so, yeah, it was just a great weekend.
Your older sister listens to the podcast. She was like, "That's a lot of how I got to know him," and she's I think kind of knows us, as well as you.
She was great.
She was really great.
Said, I'm sorry.
It's like a weird thing where I caught myself thinking. I should probably hear this, but like I caught myself thinking that I was like twinge of. I was so happy that she was there, and I was so happy to meet her and like get to spend time with her. She's very funny, and she just seems like somebody that I would have been friends with. Which that's the part that makes me sad. But then I am like, I can be friends with this person.
Yeah,
I can be, and so I'm looking forward to that. Moving forward,
it's very cool.
Yeah,
we kind of recap and talk about the wedding the next day, my wife and I, and one of the intangibles listed was how beautiful the story of that sister coming back into your life and your family's life was.
That's nice.
It was just like this, like Tommy said before, and this like thing from a movie is also happening
just in the
background today during this wedding.
Yeah, I'm so glad she came. I'm so glad she came. It was very nice that she came and to meet her boyfriend, and yeah, very grateful. It's a rose. It's a rose.
So in the movie,
Uh-huh.
Mora's
In the movie, she should kill you though.
No,
Okay,
no,
She should
I,
be the
no.
one that
I
kills.
think
Well,
it's
two
like
different
no one would
scripts.
see it coming.
I think maybe there's a kid that's like, tell me about your wedding with daddy,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just photos of you around and kind of the air of loss.
Okay. Yeah.
And she tells all the things, the romantic-y things, and then the dog, and then you're dead. I don't really know much beyond that, but it gets to you being dead.
Uh-huh. Well, the camera just shut off. Well, this is the longest we've ever went.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, tour dates.
Yeah.
What do we do? Are we done?
This week?
Well, the audio's still going, but the camera shut off.
This
Fuck.
week, Spokane on Thursday, Rhode Island Friday, coming up soon, Ann Arbor, Albany, bunch of stuff, all on andywoodhull.com. And this Friday, Beach Brain, available everywhere.
Hey, Beach Brain.
Mm-hmm.
Get out.
New
That should have been in the pre-message.
You doing a drop? Like a live YouTube thing, or you just
maybe.
Okay.
I mean, if enough people say that they
Stay
would
tuned.
participate, I would.
We should have done that in the pre-message. It's also this podcast is coming on my birthday, and I don't know if I told you guys this, but on my 12th,
Is that happy birthday? Yeah.
we had a party on my 12th.
Shut up.
Birthday. Anyway,
Yep. See ya. Bye.